Hey you guys, what's up and welcome back. Today's an exciting video because Dose of Colors launched their foundations. So today's video, I'm gonna be doing a demo application of the new foundation. This is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue. It's medium to full coverage, available in 42 shades, 6 different categories: fair, light, light medium, medium tan, dark, and deep. Each category has 7 different shades. So it is available already. It was available this morning, which is today's Wednesday. I know Anna's been working so incredibly hard on these foundations, so I'm pumped that they are launched now. I'm gonna swatch all 7 of the light to medium shades on me so that way you guys can see it on my skin. I color matched myself to shade 119, which is light medium with olive undertones. So the only thing is my body, that's what sucks about wearing so much SPF on your face and covering your face all the time, is my face is a lot lighter. I try to color match the best I can to kind of like this area here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these for you guys so you can see. I think if I was not tan right now, I would probably be shade number 117, which is light medium with neutral undertones. So this is shade number 115. So there's 115, which is yellow undertone. We're just gonna keep going here. Okay, all right. There is 116, which is neutral. So this is the shade I'm pretty sure I would be if I had no tan going on right now, 117. This one does not, as you can tell. It's pretty neutral. All right, now we got 118. This is 118, and this has warm undertones. This is definitely too warm for me. This is 119 with olive undertone. 120, which is warm. Oh no, I'm running out of face. And then 121 is cool pink undertone here. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. I would normally do 17, but I just think it's gonna look so different from like on my shoulders. All right, so we're gonna roll with that shade, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, I'll blend in 117 or switch it to 117. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime. Well, I've been using this, the Too Faced Hangover Good to Go. This is what I talked about in my last video. I've been using this along with another primer. So the finish of the foundation is a natural matte finish. By the way, everybody asking about this nail color, I have no idea what it is. It's just like a number at the nail salon. That's one thing that's frustrating when you pick out a number. So I like to let this absorb into the skin and kind of dry down before I add my pore filling primer. I'm gonna be using the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer for my T-zone area. This is also like a pore filling mattifying primer in here, and just kind of press it in. All right, are we ready to foundation? I think we're ready to foundation. Oh, Dose also came out with a new beauty sponge. Look at how cute this is. I feel like this is exactly what I was talking about when I was talking about the e.l.f. sponges, where I really like the flat bottom on the e.l.f. sponge, but I need a pointy tip. So I really am into this shape. I think this shape is awesome. So I do like to apply with a brush though, and then kind of pounce in the foundation on top of that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me just get my life together here. Here we go. We're going in with shade number 119. Start up, I just pumped out like 1.5 pumps. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it with this Kylie Cosmetics brush. I was gonna reach for my e.l.f. one that I was just raving about, and look what happened when I washed it. I'm like, really, after all the nice things I said about you, this is what you're gonna do to me? You're just gonna break like that? All right, so I'm gonna apply a little bit of this. I don't have a ton on the brush, just a little pouncy pounce. And I'm not gonna conceal any of my redness that I have here, just that way we can see how it covers. So exciting putting on a new foundation. Wow, it definitely blends out really nicely. All right, so now I'm gonna apply on this side. We had to zoom in a little bit here. This is a pretty thin layer that I'm putting on, because typically what I like to do with foundations is put on a thin layer and then add extra coverage where I need it, instead of doing it full coverage everywhere. Either my SPF is popping underneath this foundation, or it definitely doesn't look like super, super matte on me, which I'm definitely into. I'm adding just a little bit more foundation to areas I want more coverage. So I'm mixing in a little bit of a lighter shade. This is 117, the one with the neutral undertone, because I feel like I just needed something a little bit more neutral. So then around my brows, I kind of like to just take a little concealer brush with some foundation and go like that. Like I'm doing a reverse feather into my brow. And then I'll go back and touch them up. But I want you guys to see the finish of the foundation on me. It definitely has more of like a natural finish. I don't feel like it's a matte super matte foundation on my face. So if you're worried about it being too matte, I mean, look at it on my skin. I feel like it looks pretty good. And I think this looks really good. I'm sure once you put powder and everything on it, it's definitely gonna mattify quite a bit. Okay, so we're gonna start doing the rest of the face now. I wanted to do like the primers that I've been doing regularly, you know, so that way I'm not trying something new underneath here. I'm sure if you use like a more matte primer, it would end up looking a lot more matte. I used something very glowy underneath, so there's that. Now it's time to test out the sponge. How cute is this? Is this not the cutest sponge you've ever seen? It says Dose of Colors on the side. Okay, now concealer. I'm gonna go with the concealer that I've been using recently, which is the Nars Creamy Concealer. So I like to start with macadamia. So I go in with a little bit of macadamia, and then I come in with a little bit of custard. Every time I say custard, I think about like custard-filled donuts or something.
That sounds so good right now.
Doesn't that sound good? All right, now we're gonna pounce this away here. The point on here is pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. This is a sturdy point. So I like to do that just to kind of like, you know, blend everything together, and then I go in with my brightener, which is custard, and bring it in just right here. Also, another thing about the foundation that I noticed is it did not dry down quickly. A lot of matte foundations tend to dry down pretty quickly, and they're a little bit difficult to work with. But even after I applied the 119, and then I decided I wanted to go back in and blend in 117, it wasn't sticky, if that makes sense. So it blended out pretty well for being on my skin for a minute. That's really nice too, that you don't have to work super, super quickly. All right, so now this one, keeping it close to the under eye area. Oh wow, this shape is fantastic. I mean, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't expect Anna to make anything less than a fantastic shaped sponge. But this you can literally get right there up into the cat eye. You see that? Dang, I'm kind of feeling this right now. Things are looking good. How long is the pop-up shop open for?
Just think through the weekend.
Through the weekend? So I'm gonna try and get this video up ASAP. Yeah, so it's open through Sunday in LA.
11 to 5.
11 to 5. John's giving me all the deets on the pop-up, so that way you guys can go color.
Thursday to Sunday.
Thursday to Sunday.
373 North Bedford Drive.
Where is it? In Beverly Hills?
Beverly Hills, ever heard of it?
Ever heard of it? So now I'm just gonna come back in and kind of blend right here. Ooh! What I'm gonna do right now is take some 117 on the bottom of this sponge. It is like a very flat surface, which it just feels different because we're so used to such like round sponges. But I'm gonna take some 117 and just kind of like tap it on here and blend this out a little bit. By the way, only 3 more weeks of Invisalign. Woo! Wee-hoo! Ooh, my mom just called right before I set. Risky. I don't know what my left hand is doing right now, but
It's doing it.
it's doing it. Now to set directly on my under eyes, I like to use a little bit of the Studio Fix powder. This is the shade NC20 with the Hourglass. This is the little kabuki brush. I just love this one. So I'm not gonna take it all the way up because I don't know what shadow I'm doing under there yet. Just right here. I was gonna do a combination of these blushes. I love these blushes from Flower Beauty. Cinnamon and Pinched are like, oh my gosh, they're so good. But because this is a new foundation, I'm like, let me just stick to like, you know, powder blush. Don't do the most today, just stop it, you know?
Hold back.
Just chill, dude. I just put a little bit of that powder first. This is the CoverFx powder. I've been using this a lot lately. The Perfect Setting Powder, Translucent Light. And I'm gonna use my Dose sponge. I like always need my left hand here for support for some reason. It just has to be like, and then we're just gonna dust it off. I'm like so happy with how this is looking. It makes me nervous sometimes when not only when I try a new foundation before an event because I know we're gonna take a lot of pics, but also filming right before, you know? You're just like, oh my gosh, what if I don't like it? But it's looking really, really good. To me, this is looking a little bit more like a natural finish rather than a natural matte. I'm gonna take some of the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. This is number 1. This is the Eco Tools brush. And sometimes I'll just take some of this here. I also use this to bronze up the skin a little bit if I don't wanna use a lot of powder bronzer. I'm definitely like a little bitch when it comes to contouring. Like I don't really like to contour a lot. And I start up in the hairline and just pull it down. This is like my favorite brush for doing like cream bronzers or contours. I feel like it blends out really nicely, but it's also small enough so you can get into smaller areas like this up in the hairline. Okay, blush. I'm gonna start with a little bit of this one because I love this color. This is Shayla's ColourPop collection in the color Construct. So I'm gonna take a tiny bit of this and dust it here. gonna leave it like that because I was planning on wearing an orange lip, but I don't know what I'm wearing yet. It's a variable. It's a variable. If I do an orange lip, I probably will add a little pop of blush, like a little bit of a different color right there, maybe something a little bit warmer. But for now, I'm gonna leave it like that. My plan today for my eyeshadow was to do like a no makeup eye makeup look, and then I ended up with this smoked out cat eye, and honestly, I feel like it happens to the best of us, you know? All right, since I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and rock out the rest of my eyeshadow. And I'm gonna dip into my baked browns for the lower lash line, the shade here. I'm gonna smudge this up against the lash line, but I think I'm gonna go in. This is what I always do. I say I'm not gonna do it, and then I do it. So I'm gonna take this and kind of just press it into the lash line here. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in with the waterline color. I'm gonna start with brown, like a really dark brown. If I wanna do black, I can add it on top. This is Smashbox Brood. It's a pretty dark brown, so I think this will be good, yeah. Okay, so now what I want to do is take some dark eyeshadow, some dark brown, and I'm just gonna lightly set it. I don't wanna smudge it too much. I really like how it's kind of more defined right now. Some more thoughts I have on this foundation. I will say I did not have to use a lot of product at all. I know I've got a major flip going out right now, but it's fine. It's fine. The Hanson brother is gonna be back very soon. So I didn't have to use a lot of product at all. I feel like it blended out really, really well. It layered nicely. It did not dry very quickly. I mean, it looks really good. It's definitely more of a natural finish foundation on me, especially, I'm sure if you layered on even more highlighty or glowy products underneath, you could make it even more glowy. Feels very comfortable. It feels super lightweight on the skin. The only downside is I did end up mixing 2 different shades. I'm gonna go finish getting ready, and then once I have like my final look together, I'll come back in, check out, and then I will head to the event to celebrate the launch of this foundation. But congratulations, Anna and the Dose of Colors team. I know you guys have worked crazy hard for this launch. I'm super happy that it looks this bomb. I mean, I'm not surprised that the foundation looks bomb. Everything Anna comes out with is pretty bomb anyway. All right, so now I'm finally ready to head out. I went with a bold lip. I actually brought back Hot Fire today. Going to a Dose of Colors event, had to bring back Hot Fire. I have to say, I'm pretty happy with how the foundation looks right now. Every time I look in a mirror, I'm like, oh. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna head out. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. The sunscreen, sometimes when I zoom in, I see a lot more than what I was hoping to see, you know? Hey Panini, don't you be a meanie. Where did I put it? And then polish off the inner corner. I got it.
She's leaking.
Why am I leaking?